Good day. Growing up in the 90s, I practically lived Doom. I started with the shareware DOS version, moved on to Doom 95, and then played me a lot of Doom 2, even though it was kind of boring, and finally, Final Doom. Well, you see, in the space future of 2008, I downloaded a WAD file called The Ultimate Doom. I just assumed it was an alternate title for The Regular Doom. Well, imagine my surprise when I booted it up and found a fourth episode? Thy Flesh Consumed was a bonus episode included in the Ultimate Doom release. Now what the hell is that? The Ultimate Doom is an updated re-release of the original Doom, and it incorporates a new episode, but that's pretty much all it is. According to the wiki, this release was sold at retail, whereas the original Doom was not. At this far remove, I can honestly not remember seeing the Ultimate Doom at Best Buy and places like that, and since I never saw it, that's likely the reason I never played Thy Flesh Consumed back in the 90s. This is an episode that takes place pretty much entirely in hell, and as such is hellaciously difficult. No level really stands out as the fun one. There is a level that stands out as the annoying one though. From the second you start of the game, you are thrown into a meat grinder, and in seconds, you come face to face with a Baron of Hell, and all you got is a bloody 12-gauge pump gun? And it just gets worse from there. You face high-level enemies with weak weapons, ammo is minimal, and health is virtually non-existent. However, despite this being more like a hardcore challenge episode, it is at least a somewhat doable challenge. The levels, well, not really that fun or not nearly as sloggy and confusing as the levels in Inferno, and they won't make you do laps, although you still might want to bail after level bloody 2. The levels are fairly complex compared to the ones in the previous episodes and have a lot of Doom 2 DNA in them. While it is admirable that id was trying some new things, those new things didn't really land all that well, but all told, this episode is a little better paced than Inferno, and a little tiny bit less unfair than Inferno as well. Even better, it's not nearly as tedious as Doom 2. Come at me, bro. Now, playing this episode modded is another story. With the Project Brutality mod, some of the more onerous issues are mitigated, and with regenerative health, the challenge becomes less rage-inducing and more fun. We don't get any new graphics, and what graphics are used are kind of boring and dull, but I gotta say, it didn't put me to sleep. Now, as you might imagine, we also don't get any new music or sound effects, which is kinda lame. As this is Doom, story is very minimal, but this episode serves as an integral between the original Doom and Doom 2, so I guess this is kind of important to the lore. I like the book version where Doom Guy, aka Flynn Taggart, and Doom Girl, aka Arlene Sanders, builds a rocket in a cave with a box of scraps to get back to Earth after the original Doom episode, but whatever. The end image for this episode is now altogether rather famous. It is the one that features Doom Guy with a shotty and a severed head of his pet rabbit Daisy. Now, keep in mind, the game doesn't ever tell you that this is his pet rabbit, and you might be given to think that Doom Guy just killed a rabbit and is carrying his head around for some reason. But then again, let's face it, not many gamers would have even seen this anyway, or if they did see it, not many would have actually cared. So now that you know what Thy Flesh Consumed is, would you actually want to play it? I know I would have hated this game as a kid, and as an adult, I also don't really like it. When I discovered this back in 08, I was like, oh cool, a new Doom episode, might I partake? When I hit that Baron of Hell in the first bloody level, I bailed and went back to Halo 3, which was actually, you know, balanced. If you enjoy a hardcore challenge, you should find some fun here, as it is tough, but not that punishing. For the rest of us, this is a very bailable episode that really should only be finished once for completeness sake. I will say this though, I do not feel like my time was wasted, but I have no desire to ever play this episode again. And so that is Thy Flesh Consumed, an interesting artifact of Gen 1 Doom. You know, Gen 1 Doom made the first-person shooter genre as we know it, and it did that with just 2 episodes of the original Doom. All the rest was a bunch of hardcore challenge stuff that only the true super fans were able to enjoy, thus cementing Knee Deep in the Dead and The Shores of Hell as the true kings of the first-person shooter genre. And so, I am General Lotz, wishing you good Doom 3 and good Doom 2016, or whatever makes you happy. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, and please consider leaving a like or a comment, as the algorithm desires your soul. And I want to thank all those fans who have supported this channel, both past and present.